Super Ninja Austin here, back with another video. We're going to be talking about the wrestling news, and we're going to learn it into the Wrestling Inc. articles. And let's begin. And we're going to talk about Edge addresses rumors of troubled contract negotiations with WWE, like been released by Korean Fisher, from talking about the WWE Hall of Famer Rated R superstar Edge has shared a video on his X application in which he addresses some of the rumors pertaining to his current WWE contract situation. It was recently reported that both parties had reached to a stalemate in regard to an extension, but that doesn't appear to be the case. According to the veteran, there are no hard feelings between him and WWE, and he still loves the promotion, describing it as the dream cake. And I didn't come with some crazy contract or anything. They didn't deny me. I have a contract extension sitting in my inbox. I just didn't know what to do. The first time I had to retire, it was forced. This time, the choice is in my lap, and it's a lot harder. Edge went on to say that his match against Sheamus on the last week's episode of WWE Friday Night SmackDown is the highlight of his career. He described it as a special night, and he doesn't know if he'll ever be able to top it, so he needs time to process the experience and think about his next move. There have also been rumors that Edge is going to join AEW after current contract expires. He didn't mention Tony Khan's promotion in the video, but he did share some news about his future plans, whatever that means. It says that he's not going to leave WWE despite his contract is going to be coming up at the end of September. And also he didn't mention anything about Tony Khan and let alone AEW. So you haven't confirmed anything about leaving WWE, but at the same time, you haven't mentioned anything about having another match at WWE as well, so it could go either way. But what do y'all think about this news about Edge's status of his contract? Is he gonna re-sign and stay in WWE, whether if he wrestles in the ring or not, or is AEW AEW's gonna steal him away from World Wrestling Entertainment, and he's gonna have some big matches with the likes of MJF and Kenny Omega, and even team with his tag partner, the reigning defending self-proclaimed TNT champion Christian Cage. But I'm gonna let y'all know. I'll let y'all give y'all's opinions down in the comments below. But let's move on to the next news. We have some AEW Dynamite things we hate, and we three things we hate and love about the AEW Dynamite, which I'm not sure if I should talk about anything. I already made a news report of AEW Dynamite, so I guess I'll skip to that and then go to AEW video game news now. It's like which we're going to talk about AEW Fight Forever's Stadium Stampede mode and it's now available today on on either gaming consoles. Whether if you have it on the PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, or even Nintendo Switch, PC, you can now order your mode of the Stadium Stampede mode. And it says right here on this article, which been released by Eric Mutton of Wrestling Inc., that this Stadium Stampede match will be returning to AEW for the first time in 2 years at All In, but fans can also taste the wild in Stadium a little sooner than this Sunday at Wembley Stadium, with Stadium Stampede mode now available for the AEW Fight Forever video game across all platforms. The match was added to the game today in construction with this weekend's pay-per-view, and a new trailer for the post-release edition showcase what you can expect, in intercut with copious amount of footage from Stadium Stampede of the past, featuring humorous weapons, a golf cart, and even a horse like that Hangman Adam Page rode right on 3 years ago in the first Stadium Stampede match with the Elite and the Inner Circle, when Hangman Adam Page ride into that horse into the match. But you can do that on the game with whoever you're playing as a faction against another faction. Like basically what happened from the last two Stadium Stampede matches. You're gonna probably be able to the experience it yourself when you play it on the AEW Fight Forever video game. And what do y'all think about the AEW Fight Forever? In my opinion, I hope I can easily get it. I easily can get it on my game, which is on the Xbox One, and I would try it out, and then I'll let you all guys know how I thought about the game in my next video, probably on my next week's or this weekend's wrestling news video, whenever I do a next wrestling news video. But yeah, I'm gonna let y'all know about whoever played their copy of the wrestling mode, of the Wrestling Stadium Stampede mode, down in the comments. Whoever experienced the fun experience into the game already, I'll let y'all tell me about y'all's opinions down in the comments. But let's move on to the looking at why Becky Lynch say the end of Trish Stratus and the end of her feud with Trish Stratus should be as brutal as possible, which was also released by Eric Mutton. I hope I got your name right, dude. Got your name right, dude. is for the better part of the year, Becky Lynch has had a weight Trish Stratus sized weight tied to her with a little bit of Zoe Stark sprinkled in. It begin it begins when the two were allies teaming together with Lita to defeat Damage Control at WrestleMania 39, but it's since devolved into a bitter rivalry following Trish Stratus betraying Becky Lynch back in April. The feud will seeming to come to an end at Payback as Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus are set to do battle inside a steel cage match. This designed to keep Zoe Stark from interfering into the match, and for Lynch, she's ready for her issue with Stratus to finally be over, but not before a whole lot of violence, and an appearance on WWE's pro, WWE's Bump program. Lynch discussed a steel cage match. Why a steel cage match was the perfect way to settle the score, even mentioning how her daughter had grown sick grown sick of Starks and Stratus actions in recent months. I think the the com the combination of the 5 to 6 months of 6 months of feuding should be a brutal to be as brutal as possible. Becky said, "Yeah, we have the beaten the ever loving piss out of each other, and had Zoe Stark interrupt any at, at any and every opportunity. We need something to keep her out, and that is a steel cage match, and that was my daughter saying again, because it's happened again and again and again and again and again. Zoe gets involved, and I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. So well, so we'll have a steel cage match to keep her out. If Yeah. So basically, what Becky Lynch is saying, like, this is probably the good. I'll say this could be a good thing to make it a steel cage match, and to end it once and for all, which should have ended at between SummerSlam or even or the Raw a week after SummerSlam when they were at in Trish Stratus' hometown. Give this to mommy. But anyways, yeah, this is my nephew Atreyu. Say hi. You want to say hi to YouTube right now and the Uncle SNA's viewers right now? But anyways, but Trish Stratus was saying that she in kayfabe that she's getting very sick, and even her own daughter Rue is getting very sick of Zoe Stark's interference shenanigans that Trish Stratus always have her come up into their matches, and then she wants to end it once and for all at Payback, which is a week from the Saturday. Make sure to check that out exclusively on Peacock. But yeah, but she's gonna get through Zoe Stark this coming Monday on Raw, and then she's gonna and then she is gonna she's gonna end her shenanigans once and for all at that match, and then she's gonna end the wrath of Trish Stratus of the Thank You Trish movement once and for all as well at the Steel Cage match, which I believe this is what's sending off to. Like, it's these seeds are planting, and then Becky Lynch is finally gonna get the win out of Trish Stratus right inside the steel structure inside the ring without any interference from Zoe Stark. Now, what do y'all think? Is Trish Stratus finally gonna get her redemption, or what do you think? Let me know, y'all viewers. Let me know that down in the comments. Candles, anyone? But seriously, let's get back to the video. And this is a Treyu again. But anyways, we got some more news now. That we got Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona details. From, of Cody Rhodes convo after fateful visit from WWE's Vince McMahon. And according to this news article by Kobe Applegate, Cody Rhodes has been open in the past about how Matt Cardona was someone of his inner circle who encouraged him to return to WWE in 2022. Now Cardona has shared his side of the story. While speaking to Fightful at the premiere of Cody Rhodes' American Nightmare docuseries on Peacock, Matt Cardona recalled Cody Rhodes calling him to say Vince McMahon came to his house and offered him this right away. Cardona told Rhodes, you have to go. That's your dream. And Cardona also clarified that never specifically told Cody Rhodes to finish the story, but that he knew that was the opportunity for Cody Rhodes to return and win the WWE Championship. The self-professed indie god also credit to Rhodes for helping create All In 2018 and eventually invented AEW after leaving WWE at a time when there was nowhere else to go in terms of a top tier competitor. As the story goes, Rhodes left WWE in 2016 after years of creative frustrations and reinventing himself through numerous promotions, with time spending in Impact, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, and more. He spent 3 years in AEW as talent and exclusive vice president executive vice president. My bad, my apology. And then executive vice president, before his contract came up at the start of 2022. Cody Rhodes' post journey seemingly influence that Matt Cardona, as well as 2020 release, has has taken over independent scenes, won numerous titles, and is supposedly making more money now than he was during his many years. It was under WWE contract. Com- he also competed in a couple of matches in AEW. But yeah, like according to this wrestling article from Wrestling Inc. that Cody Rhodes called Matt Cardona right after he meet up with Vince McMahon in his house. He said what he should do, and he encouraged him to go back to WWE and achieve his dream of winning the WWE Championship. Even though he didn't uh, go into specific details of Cody Rhodes of finishing the story, but he did knew like if he returns, he's going to get that basically the Drew McIntyre treatment, like when he came back to WWE back in 2017. And then this is a big opportunity of a lifetime. Like if he said it says that, and then Matt Cardona even said like if he's gonna let you be him, Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, and be a main eventer like he always wanted to be, especially when he was in his first run into the company, because he reinvented invented himself in the indies and in other wrestling promotions such as Impact, New Japan, Ring of Honor, and AEW. And this is a big opportunity of a lifetime that he could be a successful wrestling star into the company that he started from, which is WWE, which he is even without the championship. Like he's making himself popular and making the company more and more seeable for the wrestling fans, like being in number of matches with the likes of with the likes of Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and even Brock Lesnar in their trilogy, their three match rivalry trilogy, the three trilogy rivalry matches, and then it says that rumor has it that he's going to finally finish the story at WrestleMania 40. Pickles, what do you want? Uncle will be with you in just a minute. But anyways, it said the rumor has it that Cody Rhodes will finish the story at WrestleMania 40. But we're gonna, that remains to be seen. And what do y'all think about this? And it also been rumor has it that there's been ideas that WWE wants to bring back Matt Cardona, but it looks like the only way they're gonna get him back, because the only way he's gonna get him back if the only way they're gonna get him back if they grant Matt Cardona's wish that he gets to be himself in his real name, Matt Cardona, and known as his indie god character and that's where he won 6 different world championships in 6 different companies outside of WWE and into the indie promotions. And yeah, what do y'all think? You think that Matt Cardona's gonna fall into the footsteps of the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and make a return to WWE? And when will you think that he's gonna make his return? Y'all let me know down in the comments. But I think he's probably gonna stay in the Indies for the next couple of years, and then that's when he's gonna make his biggest return, probably at WrestleMania event. And then he's gonna be finally gonna be recognized as a main eventer. Maybe he'll even be in a big feud and be known as the biggest heel on either the Raw or SmackDown brand, wherever Cody Rhodes is at, and then
whatever brand Cody Rhodes is gonna be in, he's gonna be in a big rivalry, like in a main event worthy rivalry with his longtime best friend, the indie god and the former Zack Ryder into a match. I hope and it'll be a trilogy, just like the Brock Lesnar rubber match. But yeah, that's on my opinion. Let's move on to the next news. We're gonna look at Joe Gacy's reacts to fans comparing him as the new Bray Wyatt, which I don't think he exactly is like the new Bray Wyatt, let alone like a future replacement of some sort. I just think he's his own version of him. I think so of that, but I don't think he's per se the next replacement of. This is Mario, yeah, Builder Mario, yeah. But yeah, I think he's his own. He's very similar to Bray Wyatt. Like he has that overly so-called positivity enthusiasm. But I would say it is positivity too much enthusiasm and positivity, like of the supernatural. It's supernatural vibes, if you know what I mean. Is the leader of the Schisms on NXT with the Dyad and the Rock's daughter Ava, which she's finally had her match debut this past Tuesday on NXT against Ivy Niles, and then let's get into the news though. Now, like it says, all cult leader characters are not the same. So say Joe Gacy at least when asked about frequent comparisons he gets to Bray Wyatt from fans of his work on NXT debuting during the NXT 2.0 era. When they debuted the NXT 2.0 era, with Joe Gacy appearance in the character of demeanor of the character's demeanor at the time may have inspired visual similarities of the Eater of Worlds, but that's about where he draws the line. Appearing on the latest episode of Out of Character podcast, Joe Gacy describes those shared traits as describe those. Joe Gacy shared traits as reasons for the connections, but stopped well short of any further between he and Wyatt. When I about him saying when I debuted, and he explained I had long hair. I had a beard, I had tattoos, and I was slightly darker character. And let's be honest, heavy set. So I'm heavy set. So fans just go, oh, oh, this. Just go, oh, this guy. This guy's like Bray Wyatt. Right. Gacy has emerged since those early days in NXT as the leader of the Schisms faction. which which also features uh, features Ava the Dyad, Rip Rip Foul Rip Follow Rip Fowler Fowler and Jagger Reed as the as well as handful of mass disciple among which two were not so shockingly revealed to be the Creed brothers, at NXT Heat Wave, by the way, with that character shift came in adjustment, uh, mostly appearance through through a change wasn't in it wasn't enough for fans to back off of the Wyatt comparison. Like, I debuted a new character, which is pretty much currently what I'm which I am doing is gay. As Gacy said, there's a darkness to the character. So automatically, everyone just associated with Bray Wyatt, which he's saying is like his character as the Schisms is more darker than Bray Wyatt ever been in any of his factions, which is the Wyatt family, or or even any versions of the Wyatt family, I should say. Say that it's more darker and uh, more mysteriously spooky. Yeah, basically. I don't know how to describe it correctly, but that's how I would see it. Like Joe Gacy, yeah, what he said. He was against some comparisons even before he debuted on NXT 2.0, when he was just the guy with the long hair, until when he shaved off with the shorter hair, or he shaved into shorter hair when he was in NXT, and then NXT now as the Schism. But what do you think about this? Comparison of the fans? Did he looks very similar to Bray Wyatt, or is he more darker into his persona? Y'all let me know down in the comments. But like it even my mom at first started looking at him like he looked like Bray Wyatt in a way as well. But yeah, like I would say he has a similar demeanor into his character, but I would say just more spooky by looking at his smile and looking at everybody else in the faction with the Dyad and Ava and the smiley face Schism minions, which they're known as the Schism disciples. Like, yeah, I would say they just I would say like 10% more horrifying than Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family. But yeah, y'all continue let me know about that down in the comments. We're gonna go next off into the next. We're gonna go to the next article. We have the Hurricane Helms. We got WWE's Hurricane Helms recounts scary moment during most recent Royal Rumble appearance, which the Hurricane Helms, which the not Hurricane, which the Hurricane's surprise return at the 2021 Royal Rumble proved to be an exciting moment for the fans watching at home during the Thunderdome era. But Shane Helms it admitted it it was a terrible it was terrible for him due to how he was eliminated. That hurt so bad. That's that's the that's the first and only time that
that the referee come and asked him, came and asked me if I was okay, and I said no, Helms, and I said no, Helms, revealed to Inside with Chris Van Vliet with a recent interview. Thought 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 I broke my back, and Helms showed off his superhero powers by having a moment of flight mid match as Bobby Lashley and Big E worked together to get rid of the former WWE Cruiserweight Champion and Gorilla press him out of the ring and author, and author, and authority. Helms was able to live his gimmick properly for a second, but but the crash landing proved to be a painful situation for him. When I when I when I hit when I hit my heel hit first. He he said I kind I kind I kind of hit heels first, and and they and they kind of shot out. They kind of shot out from underneath me, and they went down. My my tailbone, and I kind of had probably what would be described as a little bruise, probably my little spine, uh, or or something like everything hurt. That that was one of the most painful bumps I've ever taken in my entire career. And Helms hasn't haven't competed in a match since the cameo appearance, and it remains to be seen whatever returning that remains to be seen the return in-ring return will happen, or the bump was enough of a of to it was enough to vanquish the Hurricane once and for all. But yeah, like according to the article, like of the Hurricane Hill from his recent Royal Rumble appearance back in 2021 when he got eliminated by Bobby Lashley and Big E. Like it looked like something just popped out of his heel and his tailbone when he got eliminated. When he landed on his heel of his foot in the backside of the Hurricane. And Hurricane, he was like he even noticed that was a bruise, but it felt like if it was worse than just a bruise, what he was saying, and then it remains to be seen if you ever make an in-ring return, whether if it's in WWE or another promotion, like but that's for only him to decide that if he returns or not, but returns in the ring or not. Let me rephrase that. Like of him being as an in-ring wrestler, but what do y'all think about the Hurricane? Like, is he gonna make a return? Like he's currently is a backstage producer for WWE, but what do y'all think? Like, do you think do you think he's gonna get a return, or is he gonna stay as a producer, continue as his job on that position in WWE? Y'all also let me know about that down in the comments below, and then we're gonna move on to
the next news about Will Ospreay and Darby Allin and Sting and big betting favorites for AEW All In, according that was released by Nishin Janaram. With I hope I pronounced that right, man. Janaram from Wrestling Inc. That the latest betting odds is for All In show, with shows that Darby Allin and Sting are the heavy favorites to winning their coffin match, while the odds favorites of Will Ospreay beaten to beat Jericho is a big favorite is a big betting favorite into the match at All In. And then also, as per latest bet online odds, Allen and Sting are the odd favorites of a negative 1,000 to defeat Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage. 500 in the coffin match. Cage replaced AR Fox in the match after Swerve Strickland dismissed AR Fox from the Mongol affiliates group. Hometown hero Will Ospreay, meanwhile, is tipped to beat Jericho at Wembley Stadium in London on Sunday. On this past week's AEW Dynamite, Will Ospreay cut a scratching promo on the veteran star Chris Jericho during the contract signing segment, and it says right here that it says and it also says on the betting odds favorite that CM Punk is the overwhelming favorite to defeat Samoa Joe to retain his AEW Real World Championship. And Aussie Open will defend their tag team championships against Adam Cole and MJF at All In 0 hour pre-show, and then we further Ring of Honor tag team and it says here that they're the odds-on favorite of winning they're winning and retaining the Ring of Honor tag team championship, which I kind of predicted, saying because for the fact that Adam Cole and MJF is possibly not gonna team for long regarding into their AEW World Championship match, because that's going to be later on at All In, and then I also predict that MJF and Adam Cole are going to finally hit the move, the double clothesline, but only for them to kick out, only for one of them to kick out, which will either be Mark Davis or Kyle Fletcher. But I think it's going to be like this: Adam Cole and MJF is going to double clothesline Mark Davis. He's going to kick out of that. MJF's finally going to hit the kangaroo kick right onto Kyle Fletcher. He'll kick out of that, and then somehow they come back into the match, and then it'll probably be when Adam Cole and MJF gets off focus, and then they go off, and then they get out of the same page, and they started disagreeing on a spot during the match. And then that's what's going to give Aussie Opens the advantage to retain by hitting their move, which is the Aussie Arrow, and they're going to get the 1, 2, 3, and then they're going to brag about it in the upcoming post show Dynamite and post show Ring of Honor TV and Rampage and in Collision, anytime after the pay-per-view, the basically where I'm getting from. But yeah, they're gonna retain, and then we got. No, wait. Let me rephrase that. It says the Aussie Opens is the -2 240 favorite, while Adam Cole's the seven is the seven 170 favorites into the betting odds, which I'll say they could win the championships, and and then there was starting to be a fan favorite tag team into this random scrambling pairing that Tony Khan did from the scrambling uh, tag team tournament they had a couple weeks ago, or was it a month ago? I think it was a month ago, to see who's gonna face the AEW tag team champion, which is FTR. They they won in the finals, and then they were so close to beating them, but FTR managed to retain and have the upper hand over the new pairing of Adam Cole and MJF. And then since then Adam Cole and MJF still stayed as a tag team, and then they said that they're going to go after the Ring of Honor tag team champs at All In on the pre-show. But anyways, we have FTR being the 200 negative favorites of retaining their tag team, while the Young Bucks have a 150 favorite of winning and becoming the new 3-time into their rubber match against FTR for the AEW Tag Team Championships. And then we have the Fatal 4-Way match. We have a 100 betting odds favorite with Hikaru Shida retaining, while Saraya got 125 into the betting odds favorite, while Britt Baker has the most favorites of a betting odds of the 400 betting odds of the most favorites of winning, which that was also my predictions that Britt Baker's going to win, and she's going to be the third ever 2-time AEW Women's World Champion. And I believe they're going to probably continue the feud. They're gonna win the championship, and then Soraya's gonna revisit, gonna ask for a challenge against Britt Baker, probably at All Out, just to go revisit their feud. That for AEW to have an excuse to continue the feud, and then continue the feud, but it would be for the AEW Women's World Championship, which at first I believe Britt Baker should retain in the first match, and then at Full Gear, that's when Saraya finally beats the reigning defending women's champion, the wrestler / dentist Britt Baker, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD to be the exact, into the match, and then she'll be holding that title for nearly a year, probably until like the end of 2024, on my predictions. And then she'll even make references that she was a championship that hardly meant something to her, and that was her only reign as championship. And then look at her transformation, and this is her only reign that she had with AEW is AEW Women's World Championship. And then it's not just a one-hit wonder kind of ordeal. Is the champion, as a women's wrestler champion that she is. And but we're gonna figure that out in the future. By that time, in a year from now. But yeah, but let's go to we have Toni Storm is the 550 favorite to win, which it shows that she could be the first ever 3-time women's world champion, which, like I said before, I don't know if she's gonna be the first ever 3-time women's world champion. Maybe maybe near in the future, maybe even in 2024, she could win it around the summer, like spring or summertime of 2024. I'll say by ending her alliance with Saraya is the outcast, and probably be the one to dethrone Saraya on my prediction opinion on this on this matter of who's going to be women's champion in the next, I'll say in the next year or so. But that's future Super Ninja Austin's opinions. I'll save the rest for later. But anyways, we got the coffin match, which Sting and Darby Allin have a negative 100, and I mean not 1,000, and then Swerve Strickland and AR Fox, which was replaced by Christian Cage, is the 500 favorite, and then 500 favorite, and then we got the Golden Elite getting a 300 negative, while Team Bullet Club Gold and Konosuke Takeshita of the Don Callis family only got a 200 positive favorite of winning the match, which most fans think that is going to be the Bullet Club Gold and Konosuke Takeshita, which I think is going to be the Golden Elite, because the Bullet Club Golds keep getting the advantage in the upper hand into their brawl, into the in-ring and backstage brawl from the last couple weeks. So what will be better is to have the Golden Elite get the win, Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, and Kota Ibushi, to get this victory from the Don Callis faction, and then finally get their retribution on the faction. And if they want to continue the feud, like, go ahead and continue it into another big event they're going to have, whether if it's on AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, which I'm not sure if Kenny Omega is going to go to Collision at this point, if they're going to continue. But if they're that or All Out, like, I think they're probably going to continue it like that. And then maybe Bullet Club Gold will get a win, make it a 50-50 booking. But I'm not sure if AEW would like to do 50-50 booking oftenly. So we're going to see about that. Y'all let me know down in the comments about that matter. And then the singles. And then it's a negative 1,000 favorite of Will Ospreay and 500 favorite of Chris Jericho. And then we got Samoa Joe. But yeah. And then we got Samoa Joe and CM Punk with the Real World Championship. With CM Punk got a negative 800 favorite. And then we got Samoa Joe with 400. Warriors 25 favorite. MJF got 400, a negative 400, while Adam Cole got 200, a negative 250, a positive 250. But what y'all's betting odds? Whoever's watching this, any viewers that betted on this week's or this Sunday's AEW All In pay-per-view, like, who y'all bet on online on who's gonna win at the Wembley Stadium event? Y'all let me know about that down in the comments below. But let's move on to the next news. We have up next. We got MJF. MJF condemns WWE versus AEW tribalism, which he says loves watching Cody Rhodes and LA Knight admitting of watching WWE with the likes of Cody Rhodes and LA Knight. And then according to the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, MJF has choice words for wrestling fans who choose to remain loyal to either WWE or AEW, imploring them to enjoy both promotions instead of bickering online. Appearing on this week's Busted Open Radio, MJF pointed onto weird things in professional wrestling where fans are disrespectful to each other to each other with a disagree of in 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 of not in in the most in the animosity, yeah, animosity with each other with disagreements and animosity that he reveals it is not shared to, to shared by wrestlers from the two companies. Which I agree. Like you shouldn't be arguing, disagreeing what's the better company. Like both companies have been killing it from the last weeks of programming in both WWE and AEW. So you guys on the internet are talking disagreeing about AEW. Please don't do that. Like what's the better show? Like you don't have to compete on what's the better show. Like you should just enjoy which wrestling shows y'all want to watch. Like whether if y'all want to watch one or the other or both, like do that. Like and give y'all's opinions on what y'all like about it and what y'all's favorite thing about the wrestling events and wrestling shows. And I would agree with MJF. Like you shouldn't be doing this. Like having animosities and arguments and disagreeing that what's better and what's not better and whatever. Yeah, like y'all should just you should just you should just give y'all's opinions on what y'all think about wrestling and what you think what's killing it out what's killing it on TV and why and also and then and then also and also he went and he was like realistically the better the the better the two companies are doing more money where we're gonna make MJF say, we're gonna make MJF said MJF said so stop arguing we're all having a freaking blast. I'm watching LA Knight and Roller Coaster Cody Rhodes, which she didn't say roller coaster by the way. That was me on my word. I've been watching LA Knight and Cody Rhodes every week and having a blast. Just like fans out there watching better than you, baby, having a blast. There's so much great professional wrestling going on, and and the, and and there's more than enough room for it. Clearly, AEW is about to have the biggest crowd, and this is not not hibbable hibbable ever the most hyperable most most hyperable ever in the history of sports of the sport. When I think about that, it's insane to in a typical in MJF fashion. He 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 directly took credit for All In's ticket sales. Nothing nothing that people can get enough to MJF because he's very relatable. Say for the fact that he's a freaking athlete and way more handsome than everybody to shed light on why he's relatable to average fans. MJF revealed he grew up with with a with a fat head of John Cena in his bedroom, a sight he was greeted with greeted with every morning. I woke up to that man.
man staring at me. MJF revealed that's insane. I had posters of CM Punk, Pipe, Roddy Piper, Greg Valentine, Jerry Lynn, and Buddy Rogers. I I live for this shit, and now I get to look into the camera and say I'm I'm the headliner of the biggest show ever, and it's not hype not hyperbole. It's because not hyperbole. It's because people see themselves in me. I am I am a part of that dream, and and I am and I am proud to be a part of that dream.
which which he says like he's glad he can main event a biggest wrestling wrestling event of all times, which is All In, which is like it's like their version of WrestleMania, which is going to be their biggest pay per view event that AEW ever done with either of their five pay per views, including Forbidden Door combined. And he's like he finally get he finally gets the main event, a biggest stage wrestling event, like next to WrestleMania, and possibly bigger than WrestleMania. Like even they saying it's bigger than the first ever WrestleMania, that WrestleMania in 1984, and and he's seen the likes of John Cena and Roddy Piper and Jerry Lynn and Buddy Rogers and CM Punk. Like he idolized them as a kid, like of seeing them in promotions such as WWE and in Jerry Lynn's case ECW and CM Punk, both WWE and Ring of Honor. Like he was inspired by them kind of wrestlers as a kid, and and that's what that had him inspired of joining the wrestling industry, which was a success because it like him with all those years of working in independent promotions, of him wrestling on there and trying to make a name for himself, and himself paid off because he he got a call from, I think was from Cody Rhodes, that to be on the first All In show back in 2018, and then even though he lost that match, that's that was the start of his success in pro wrestling, and then he got a call from a guy that's now known as the president and the owner of AEW, which stands for All Elite Wrestling, by the way, which us internet wrestling guys know that, obviously, of course. But he got a call from the man, none other than Tony Khan, to join him to AEW, and that's when he signed a 5-year deal since 2019. He's been on AEW ever since, and now he's reigning as AEW World Champion and in main eventing the biggest pay-per-view event of all time. But yeah, which I'll say I'm happy for the guy, and I hope he gets more success. And then I hope he does join WWE, and then they see him as a main eventer. Even though he's the most hated guy into pro wrestling right now, I would say I gotta hand MJF the credibility that he deserved. That how he got into the wrestling industry by being inspired and motivated by motivated by the guys of like CM Punk, John Cena, Jerry Lynn, Roddy Piper, and much more. Like, and then he could do, and then in his contract, and I'll say for AEW's sake, like I'll feel bad if they lose MJF next year because he's probably their biggest one of their biggest drawn into the professional wrestling industry, and then there's gonna be a bidding on him on who's gonna sign him, which he said, which according on the previous interviews, that he'll sign with a promotion that'll have the highest bid, like whether if he stays in AEW or WWE gets a higher bid, or Major League Wrestling, even Impact Wrestling, or any promotion of the matter, signed him, he'll gladly would resign with their promotion and and wrestle there, and then even try to main event their biggest pay per view of its promotion's biggest event, that the biggest promotion's pay per view or even premium live event in WWE's case, if he ever signed ever that he ever wrestled in, of course. But what do you all think about this? About MJF? About him being a fan of WWE and watching the likes of LA Knight and his former best friend of me, Roller Coaster Cody. And do you think he's going to join WWE when the Forbidden War starts? I mean, not when the bidding war starts. Where the bidding war with promotions of offering some big money contracts. Y'all let me know down in the comments below. But next on, we're going to move on to the next article of CM Punk's teaming with Darby Allin and Sting and a mystery partner of their choosing. And on this Saturday's AEW Collision, which we're going to talk about AEW Collision of the AEW review on the next SNA podcast. I believe it's probably going to be episode 14. I believe, yeah, it's going to be episode 14. Make sure you check that out in 2 days from now. But back to the video, back to the article. CM Punk will get a final tune-up match this Saturday on AEW Collision ahead of his high-profile bout against Samoa Joe at this Sunday's All In pay-per-view. It was announced on AEW Dynamite that CM Punk will team with Darby Allin and Sting and have a mystery partner to take on the quarrel-head switchblade of Jay White, the quartet of the Switchblade Jay White, Swerve Strickland, Luchasaurus, and Brian Cage, with Samoa Joe being on commentary with the commentators on Collision on that night for the clash which AEW is dubbing as an all-star 8-man tag match. And the 8-man tag match will also serve as a final tune-up for Darby Allin, Sting, Jay White, and Swerve Strickland at all of whom will be also wrestling in front of over 80,000 fans this Sunday, while Allin and Sting will team up against Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage at All In. White will represent Bullet Club Gold in their match trio against the Golden Elite. As noted earlier, Christian replaced AR Fox for at All In after firing the latter for suffering a pinfall to Nick Wayne on this from last night's Dynamite. And the aforementioned 8-man tag match is not the only confirmed bout scheduled for AEW's Collision. It was announced last night that Eddie Kingston and Orange Cassidy and Penta El Zio Miedo will team up against the Butcher and the Blade and Kip Sabian in a trios action. This will help Eddie Kingston and Orange Cassidy prepare for their Stadium Stampede match at All In, and while the pair multi-man matches will air on TNT this Saturday night. They were taped immediately after Dynamite went off the air, at, off the air at the Gas South Arena in in Duluth, Georgia. I hope I pronounced the city's name correctly. Unlike unlike most recent episodes of Collision that has aired live, this week's show was taped to enable to AEW roster to travel over to the UK ahead of AEW's All In, which will will emanate from Wembley Stadium, which was probably a smart move to have AEW. If they're not going to have it at Wembley Stadium, have AEW Collision, you should tape it because it's going to take. They're probably going to have a couple of days to get everything prepared. Even if they arrive at the UK at Wembley Stadium, they still have everything prepared before they can do any shows, especially All In. So that's why they probably said they're obviously gonna pre-tape Rampage for this Friday, but also do this Saturday's AEW's event at the Gas South Arena in Duluth, Georgia, to do all the matches that's been announced at AEW's Collision show this Saturday. Have that pre-taped, so when they leave Duluth, Georgia, they can go directly to the United Kingdom, go to the UK and get stuff ready for their biggest pay-per-view event of the year for AEW and for professional wrestling, and then they do it like that. But what do y'all think about this? And are there going to be any spoilers for the upcoming couple of days, for the next couple of days, of either whether if it's tonight or tomorrow? Y'all let me know down in the comments below, if there's any spoilers into the after this video be released on my YouTube channel. But make sure to check it out, and then make sure y'all check out Rampage, and especially AEW All Out for the Go Home show before AEW's All In show, to see what's going to be next for the All In show and what should we expect. And up next we have more AEW news. We got the AEW finalized lineup for AEW Stadium Stampede match at All In includes Santana and Ortiz, which AEW confirms the lineup of Stadium Stampede match after the return of the two stars to AEW's on this week's AEW Dynamite show. The Proud and Powerful, the duo, the Santana and Ortiz returned to AEW this past week, and they will now feature at All In. But anyway, at the All In show, the duo will team up with Blackpool Combat Club, John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Willer Yuta to face the Best Friends, the team of Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta, and Orange Cassidy, and their team, and with Penta El Zero Metal and Eddie Kingston in a Stadium Stampede match. Santana has been out of action since June of 2022 after suffering an ACL injury at Blood and Guts match where he had incidentally teamed up with John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Willer Yuta, and Eddie Kingston and Ortiz. Meanwhile, last wrestled in a match back in March and has been off television despite wrestling for other promotions. Ortiz and Santana were apparently not on good terms last year, but Triple A's Conan revealed recently that the duo have patched things up. Have like that Conan has that's going to that patch things up. All all in, we'll see the three the third not three the third stadium stampede match in AEW history with with the first two with the first two take place the at 2021 and 2022 edition of Double or Nothing, which I think this guy is mistaken. The first Stadium Stampede match was in 2020 at Double or Nothing, and then the second one was in 2021, and the second one was at 2021 at Double or Nothing. So, but just for a little correction right there, nothing, no hard feelings on it though. But just saying, just to be in the correct side of things in the wrestling into the wrestling internet community. Edition of Double or Nothing, Santana and Ortiz have been involved in both Stadium Stampede matches. Yeah, he's been both Stadium Stampede matches, both times representing the inner circle, losing against the elite in 2021, but winning against the pinnacle. They, I'm gonna make a correction. They lost to the elite and the elite and delete a 2020 Stadium Stampede match, the first ever one, and in the second match they got a win against the Pinnacle that following year in 2021 in Double or Nothing. They they are the only two stars from this year's this year's match that have previously featured into a Stadium Stampede match. And this is about to be their third match of being in the Stadium Stampede. Instead of teaming with the Inner Circle, now it's going to be this time with the BBC. Or no, the BPCC, yeah, which the Blackpool Combat Club. And then, what do you think about this? Them being in this is gonna be the third match, and are they gonna successfully win and be win two out of three of them being encountered into the Stadium Stampede match? You viewers let me know about that down in the comments. And also we have, and then also like is it like did they patch things and let bygones be bygones? And what do you thought about Santana and Ortiz getting back together? And what you thought about Santana's comment into about Santana and Ortiz finally getting making things up from whatever dispute they had against each other? Y'all let me know also about that down in the comments. But this pay-per-view is about to get exciting, but unfortunately I'm probably not going to be able to watch it because I just cannot afford the pay-per-view charges. Yeah, but yeah, y'all. But for those who were watching, I hope y'all enjoy. And then yeah, and then I'm gonna see the recaps afterwards on YouTube and even on AEW Dynamite and stuff in the near future after the pay-per-view show. Like when they show after they show the after after the after they already been and done the pay-per-view over in the UK, of course. But okay, next up we have what's in the video now. Yeah. Okay, we're probably gonna do one more.
Let's see.
Okay, I guess we can end this video with the returning talk about the returning Billy Gunn. With Billy Gunn returns on AEW Dynamite, sets of sets a match against the House of Black against the Acclaim at All In, and then this is when on this Wednesday on Dynamite, a furious Max Caster and Anthony Bowens calls out. Yeah, of course we recap this. They called out the House of Black after the trio stole the boots of the Acclaim's retired mentor Billy Gunn. A brawl broke out between the Acclaim and the AEW World Trios Champion, with Malachi Black, Brody King, Buddy Matthews enjoying a 3-on-2 advantage until Billy Gunn returned from retirement and ran them off. Gunn then demanded a match between the two trios at All In on August 27 at Wembley Stadium in London, England. That saying it would be all or nothing one last time. Indeed, it was later officially announced that a House of Black AEW Trios titles would be on the line on that match. The Guns previously left his boots in the Gunn previously left his boots in the ring after a loss on the July 22nd episode of AEW Collision, with many believe this meant Billy Gunn had really retired from wrestling. But after this discretions of said boots alongside the former AEW World Tag Team Champions. But yeah, it's finally been confirmed that it will be the Acclaim, and it will be the Acclaim against the House of Black in a 6-man tag match for the AEW Trios World Tag Team Championships. And what do you think about this? Is this finally time for the Acclaim to dethrone the House of Black? I think it is, but y'all let me know down in the comments below. And then I guess I kind of lied. I want to do one final video about the passing of Terry Funk, which was announced this past Wednesday, which has been announced on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. And even Ric Flair posted a post about the latest passing of Terry Funk on I believe it was on Twitter. Like, he tweeted a post about the latest passing of Terry Funk, and then we also have some news here about Jim Ross remembers wrestling legend Terry Funk named all-time favorite match. And it was announced yesterday that Terry Funk has died at the age of 79 after that news broke on the current All Elite Wrestling commentator Jim Ross spoke with Sports Illustrated about his late friend. And he said on his Sports Illustrated interview, he loved I loved him. like a family. Ross said Terry Terry was a was a brilliant mind, absolutely amazing ring physical physicology. He was physically and mentally a tough as a $2 steak. And and Funk had many iconic matches throughout his career, including battling with the Nasty Boys, Ric Flair, who shared the news of Funk's passing. Of Funk's death. On social media in I Quit match at the National Wrestling Alliance's Clash of Clash of the Champions 9 in New York knockout knockout event in 1989. Ross thinks that that belt still stand the test of the time. One of one of one of my all-time favorite matches in my in my near 50 years in professional wrestling. Ross said Terry's special, and he was brave enough to rein, reinvent himself multiple times. Ross added that Funk, who has been struggling with his health in recent years, has it uh, uh, er, 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 where was that? Sorry, I lost track because pickles. But anyways, we're irreplaceable. He also said that there will never be another like the former NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Terry Funk's legendary in-ring career was began in 1965 and saw him work for promotions such as WWE, All Japan Pro Wrestling, and Extreme Championship Wrestling. The hardcore icon officially hung up his boots in 2017. Funk received the honor of being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame with his brother Dory Funk Jr. in 2009, and Dory Funk Jr. in 2009. And he basically had a historic. He has basically a most historic wrestling career alone. Starting in 1965 and ended his career in 2017. Like, wow. That's like a 52-year career in pro wrestling. And again, like I said yesterday, I would like to send my deepest condolences to the Terry Funk family and friends at this sad time of losing the most extremely talented professional wrestler into this industry. And then I guess that'll be it for today's video. Like, what do y'all think about my latest edition of part 2 of the wrestling news video? Like, y'all please let me know about that down in the comments. And I guess that'll be it for today's video. I hope I can do another one like this weekend. I believe I should. But what do y'all think about the news that I've talked about on this video? Like, let me know all about them down in the comments below. It was good to talk to you guys. And once again, I hope I see you again, which I should be making a SmackDown review and an AEW Rampage review tomorrow night on both episode 12 and 13 of the SNA podcast. Make sure to check that out. And I'm gonna see you all there in the next video. I've been Super Ninja Austin here on this video, the host of the SNA podcast. See you then tomorrow night. And see you tomorrow night, and I love to see you all there and we can talk again there. Peace out. Sass out. Okay.